Star vs. the Forces of Evil is the property of Disney, Darren Nefsey, and all respective owners. Any and all images have been used for the sole purpose of critique or parody and as such are protected under fair use. Please support the official release. Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku and it's time for the review. Now guys, this episode the hard way was just a roller coaster ride of emotions for me. We see Ludo and Glossaric once again and receive a good look at the location they're currently dwelling in, which I think looks dope as hell. Ludo's little rat army is hard at work slaving for their master, renovating the place to his liking. And I really like that Ludo now surrounds himself with animals as opposed to monsters because of how obedient they are in comparison to his former henchmen who changed up on him. It also emphasizes just how insane and outlandish of a character he's become. And if you're a regular on social media, you know damn well that crackheads can tame just about any animal, and that's what we're seeing right here. Ludo has apparently been trying to starve Glossaric in an effort to make him crack and get to teaching, but this is unnecessary as Glossaric doesn't care. He'll aid whoever is in possession of the book regardless of who they are, which is nuts. But before he even checks in on Glossaric, Ludo has an interesting conversation with his wand. Even the wand expects Glossaric to be against training Ludo, so it tells Ludo something that we as an audience are left in the dark about. Something Ludo refers to as a last resort, so it must be something possibly threatening to Glossaric. Maybe the destruction of the book, which would be the end of him, or something crazy like that. We just have to wait and see. Also, I question if the events of this episode may occur prior to the episode Raid the Cave, considering in that episode Glossaric is actually eating pudding when he speaks with Star. And Ludo couldn't have given it to him prior considering his plan of starvation and belief that Glossaric would hold out on him. So yeah, I think the events of this episode take place before Star attempts to save him, which is something to keep in mind. Glossaric claims his job is to help the owner of the book reach their ultimate potential, and that's all that he can guarantee. And Ludo wants the training to be difficult. He really wants to be powerful more than anything, but after he's subjected to meaningless hard labor without learning anything, he gets frustrated and says how he doesn't know what he wants. This progresses into an entire monologue about his father, which was just damn, like, I know this moment is gonna hit some people in the chest hard as hell. Like, it was powerful. Essentially, Ludo was just one egg of 50, and so he has daddy issues and just wants some guidance for once. Glossaric agrees, and from here, Ludo is taught a basic magic spell called Levitato, which is something incredibly simple that Star could have used in her evaluation with Baby. In fact, Glossaric gives Ludo the exact same challenge, the bring the apple to me. And for the most part, Ludo is pretty good at following the book's instructions, admittedly better than Star. Now, contrary to his belief, this doesn't mean he's better than Star, he just learns differently. And amazingly, in the same day, Ludo manages to master the spell using it with ease. The guy's pretty much a malleable sponge, soaking up whatever he's told and being bent in the shape that his wand most desires. And another thing is, Glossaric is apparently this man's daddy now, and I have to say it was funny, but pretty shameful considering I am a fan of Ludo. He tucked him in and everything, and I was absolutely rolling when he made Glossaric say "good night my darling." Too much. Ludo is really a crackpot, and if Ludo is calling him daddy, then you know you gotta call me Papa Slice. But enough jokes. As expected, this episode decided to go ham in the final moments. Ludo speaks with his wand in the middle of the night and is told that Glossaric has been holding out on him with a certain chapter that he taught Star. Ludo confronts Glossaric and they then open up to Eclipsa's chapter. This immediately taints Ludo and places him in a state extremely similar to Marco when he peered into the chapter himself. But then, Ludo goes full on exorcism mode, possessed by that smug 7-fingered lizard Toffee. The way he speaks to Glossaric is just so clean, referring to him as an old man, as the two of them obviously know each other, with this not being their first encounter. He feels the need to tell Glossaric that he'll never get Ludo on his side, seemingly implying that Ludo will remain with him or that he's just an idiot. Glossaric responds that he doesn't have a side, once again reiterating his alliance to anyone in possession of the book. Toffee is intrigued by this and regards it as excellent in the most ominous, I'm ready to fuck shit up pose possible. Everything is falling into place for Toffee, which means everything is falling apart for everyone else. Dude, I am hype. And if this episode does in fact take place prior to the events of Raid the Cave, then Ludo may be pretty far into his training of Eclipse's chapter by now. And considering he's a sponge of a learner, this could seriously be dangerous, which is a relief for me because I want to see him flex with his new power. I at least want all of Muni to know his name. This episode was epic and the suspense just doesn't stop. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and be sure to share this video with anyone you want to taint. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.